Welcome back, friends. This is another episode of Cam Reviews.
Not your friend.
You! Just to remind you, CAM stands for Cheap Ass Movies. It's the show where we go out and find cheap DVDs, then we watch them, and then we review them for your pleasure. Tonight's host is myself, Lizzie, with reviews done by Nathan.
Hi!
Warren.
And we're up for a game of pool.
And Sean.
El Kabong!
Tonight's movie is Bronson. It's based on the true story of one of Britain's most violent criminals who went from just being a petty thief to being one of the most violent criminals of all time. It is starring Tom Hardy and directed by Nicolas Winding Refn, who also directed movies such as Drive and Valhalla Rising. And it is rated R for a lot of stuff. Let's get our first impressions.
So Bronson, I'm pretty excited about this movie. I've never seen it. But the fact that it's got Tom Hardy in it, awesome. Loved him in Batman. Should be pretty awesome. He's playing a criminal in this movie as well. Pretty muscular, fighting criminal. See him in a straitjacket on the back cover. Just overall, he looks like one of those old 1920s boxers. Put up your dukes, kind of thing. Just for that, I've got high hopes for this movie.
Well, my first impression is a mustache. Enough said. I'm just kidding. But really, there is no single bit of hair on that entire head or face except for the mustache. It's everywhere. Anyway. So, Bronson, that name doesn't really ring a bell, but apparently this is based off of a true story. Old-timey boxing movie. 20s, maybe? Somewhere around there? I don't know, I'm not really good with timelines, but something that actually kind of confused me is, according to the back here, he is a criminal who apparently robbed a post office with a sawn-off shotgun. He goes to jail, and then they give him boxing gloves and say, here, punch this guy. We'll just call it sport, it's okay. Yeah, holding up a post office with a sawn-off shotgun is not okay, so we'll put you in jail, but you can punch this guy and it's okay. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. Anyway, so, yeah, those are my thoughts, my first impressions on this movie. Mustache.
First impression for Bronson, for me, awesome.
You suck.
Thanks. First impression for Bronson, I can't wait to watch it. 34 years in prison, 30 of them in solitary. How violent can a man get other to himself? We'll find out. And hopefully he is violent to other people, not just himself, to make the movie long and enjoyable rather than morbid and long and maybe still enjoyable. So, Bronson, Tom Hardy. And I agree with Warren, I think he's hairless. Except on the mustache. Hairless everywhere else, though. Everywhere. Ladies. Tom Hardy, not me. I'm particularly hairy. Sorry.
Camera view.
Are you comfortable with it?
Oh, you guys are cuddling. Oh, you're so cute. Penis.
Penis? Oh!
He has a very... Wow. Sorry.
Wait, is that Tom Hardy?
That is
Yes,
Tom Hardy.
it is Tom
Wow.
Hardy.
Okay. He looks like a Tom Softy right now.
Dude, he's right killing him.
Charlie Bronson. Which is my alter ego.
No, he's not crying. No.
Yeah,
He's laughing.
He's not the Joker. He's Bane. He is the Joker!
I already know about this character.
Oh, God.
Ah,
Oh,
why, England?
Insane
Why?
asylum. Oh.
No. Just throw that on the floor.
Or on the wall.
Oh, he's gonna do it. It's an insane asylum. He's gonna do it.
Oh, God. They're gonna throw up everywhere.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna eat his own fecal matter.
I'm not gonna watch.
Oh no, he's gonna wipe it on.
Oh, it's just rubbing it on his face. Oh, it's just like, you
He's just
know.
rubbing all over
Oh,
himself.
poop. Oh, poop.
Hey, he
Oh.
created that. That came from him.
at his skin, it's flawless. He must be doing something right.
It's all the murals. I don't know.
Let's
What did he say?
let's
I mean, let's chat.
Okay.
That's not what that means in America.
I don't know if that's what it means there either, but that's what it means to this guy.
That's what it means in prison.
Powerful. I'll give you f***ing magic in there. Magic? You just pissed on a gypsy in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm done. Where's the next one? What's up? Quickly!
Look at my house, you
Quicker! F*** off! Sit down! In the corner! Don't move, c***! Your feelings?
This is yellow. It's red. Gosh, get your eyes checked.
This is yellow.
It's red. It's red. It's red. People, it's black and red. Black and red. It's not yellow.
I see it. It is yellow.
No.
It's beautiful yellow.
It's yellow!
Beautiful yellow. Yellow. Yellow.
No.
Yeah, it is yellow.
No.
Everything is yellow.
Animals. Yep.
A prop.
Using an
Hey, look,
animal.
I'm Tom Hardy's penis and mustache, the two main characters of Bronson.
Yeah, did you see him when he was getting beat up? Just
Yeah,
flopping everywhere. You guys know you were looking.
it was a very
I was
floppy
trying
mustache.
hard not to.
I was trying hard not to also.
There's a lot of phallic symbolism.
Yeah, more than any other movie. It's like
Squeezing, I'm very strong.
Something
Feel
probably
my arm.
about masculinity and, you know, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Or maybe we should actually start it now. That was our penis discussion.
That's good.
So, we just watched Bronson, and now we are going to talk about it. What'd y'all think?
Awesome.
Unique.
Very
unique.
These are adjectives.
crazy.
I've seen movies where, I guess, with characters that were similar, you know, pave their own way. And that way seemed to be very different from society's way.
Yeah.
And, you know, near the end of the story, they have this moment where I guess the audience can somehow be put in their place. This movie did it in a very unique way. You know, we had that scene, a lot of those scenes where he was talking to the audience and putting on a show for them. It's like we were the audience.
What a
Right.
unique way to, like, do a narration, you know?
Everyone's clapping, and he's really happy being escorted through the prison for one of the first times that we see, and he's interacting with those cellmates. That all those noise and sound effects, that's in his head. That's in his own
That's
imagination.
kind of what I was thinking when I
Yeah.
was watching it too. It's
Because
like
it gets louder and
were-
louder.
Were,
the more
Yeah.
it
were they
progresses
really
through.
actually clapping and?
They weren't.
and-
I don't know. I kind of felt like they could have been. Someone makes a stand, especially against the authority figures. You know, it gets kind of like, woo, respect. You know, like I thought it was.
If it
but,
was like that, then it just.
But he
it was intensified by his own
exaggeration.
exaggeration. Yes.
Absolutely. Tom Hardy just blew this performance out
Yeah.
of the water. Just every part, everything about it. His facial expressions, his body movements. Just the way he holds himself when he just had to be in like still postures. It was like art.
For how much time is focused on the main character, like I was saying to Warren earlier, I just didn't really lose interest watching
Yeah.
him. It's really hard for a movie to focus for an hour and a half, 2 hours on just one guy, and really that's
Yeah.
it.
They
Yeah.
never focus on them. They're just set pieces for Charlie Bronson.
Uh-huh.
No, it's absolutely true.
So you never get the opportunity to get to know any of the other characters. So the only character you get to empathize with, that you have to connect and empathize with, is Charlie. And really,
It was a very hard person
Very
to
hard to
connect
do.
with.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
if they had tried to focus any more on any of the other peripheral
I wouldn't have
characters,
cared about him.
yeah,
I'd empathize with his mother if there was more focus on
Yeah.
that, or
Right.
on the girlfriends, or on, you know, the
guards.
constables, or
Yeah,
whatever.
the guard.
yeah, it's almost like
couldn't
the
do it.
director Stockholm syndrome to the audience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you detached from this movie and just kind of looking at it as a passive observer. You'd be like, holy shit, this guy is brutal,
Yeah.
borderline evil.
Yep.
But because you're watching it and you're participating in the movie, you start to identify with this horrible person.
You're forced
It's
to.
Yeah.
true, like, because this little time that you spend outside of prison with Bronson, it's almost uncomfortable out there.
Well, it's also
with
almost
the
the same,
soundtrack and
too.
with like, yeah, exactly. Only with even more possibilities.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh. So it's kind of interesting that you say that. I didn't really think about that, but it's true. And it's cool.
Yeah.
I want to make a point. Contrary to my first impression, this was not really an old-timey boxing movie.
Alright, so where do we want to start? For
Nathan?
Let's start over there.
All right, I
buy,
would
rent, or pass?
I would buy it. I would buy it to own it because you got to show all your friends and your family. Maybe not the little kids, maybe not your grandma, but everybody in the middle. They got to watch it.
Unless your grandma's awesome.
Yeah, or your baby's awesome.
Warren, buy, rent, or pass?
I would say rent. You definitely have to see it once. At least once. Now, this movie has some rough scenes that some people would not enjoy seeing over and over and over again.
Poop smear.
Poop smear.
Definitely a scene you need to see.
Oh.
You don't have to watch it multiple times to get it. I mean, I saw it once and I get it. So,
I've seen
yeah.
it like 5, and I still want to watch it again. Nathan?
I'm gonna have to give it a rent too. Mainly for me, like, if I'm gonna buy a movie, it has to be a movie that I know I'm going to watch over and over again. But the one thing about this movie, I enjoyed it immensely. Do not get me wrong about that. But I am physically drained right now.
Yeah.
It is a daunting movie, to say the least. It is very visceral.
Oh man,
We're
gonna love Naked Lunch.
I'm looking forward to that.
Shadowing!
Alright, that was our review for Bronson. We got 2 rents and 1 buy. My opinion, I gave another buy for sure. Great movie. Please at least watch it once. It's awesome. Hope to see you again next week. And bye, friends. Alright, remember to watch last week's video over here, next week's video over here. If you like us, please subscribe and click like below. See you later.
A mustache is a growth on your upper lip, and it can be styled in many different ways. It's good to keep it trimmed because it can get in your mouth. Mustache.